for year 4, season 2 of Tyranny. Okay? Tyranny. I'll say it again. Tyranny. That starts June 11th, next week. We're going to hit you with a little story trailer in about 3, 2, 1 seconds. Let's do it now. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, we've got story trailer here.
Peace is a false hope. It is a lie told by leaders who have lost the will to fight. But the time of reckoning has come.
This sure sounds like Napoleon's coming back.
We will cleanse Heathmore from the liars and the wicked. We will start a new era for the truest heroes of this world.
Napoleon, like, good or something.
Peace is poison.
No fucking way. That sword! That fucking sword. Oh my god. Oh my god, that fucking sword though. I wonder...
Wow.
Will that be available for Warden or...
Okay. Mind blown. That was the first reveal of the year 4 season 2 Tyranny story trailer. I've got questions. The people at home, I know you've got questions.
Totally. Basically, it was a matter of like analyzing first what are the problems that this character has on live. When you look at Centurion on live, Centurion doesn't have a lot of 1v1 tools, for example. The late chain is 600 and 700 MS. Zone can't be feinted, so it's even a parry on hit, which is crazy. Quick grab doesn't force a reaction or really do anything, so the purpose is very mysterious at this point. Legion kick can't really kick somebody who's paying attention to you. And then in group fight scenarios, it's a different problem. It's this character is really good at ganking even through revenge, the pins and so on, even beat revenge armor, which is inconsistent with the rest of the rules. So it's got a very strange goal right now in either 1v1 or group fight games. So we're trying to like pull away that that style and trying to fix some of those problems and give it a bit of a new role in the
this
package
is all pretty
while
true.
still
I agree with pretty much everything you said so far.
So what we did in testing rounds, just to actually answer your question instead of just meander off to wherever I'm going, we tried a number of things. We saw that we got rid of like quick grab, for example, and we put jab in there. We made jab feintable, zone feintable, all kinds of stuff. This was really good because these pieces actually worked well. The stuff that wasn't really working well is what players identified on the testing ground, which is cool. In their feedback, we'd see things like they could roll away from jab after a light hit, for example, for free with nothing Centurion could do. That sucks. Obviously, there shouldn't be 100% escape options for people. On the other side of the thing, even when it was working for the Centurion, we find that the opponent still found it annoying, because even though there wasn't a cutscene in the testing grounds, the amount of times you got hit by the punch, when it had stun property, meant you had like flashbang in face, boom, 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 constantly. So it's a matter of trying to adjust the number of these things.
That would be kind of
other
nice.
items for stuff like
Admittedly, you're
wall
gonna
splat
get
didn't give
kind of the Raider effect where somebody just
beneficial
stuns you over
punish.
and over
So
again.
how do you get to your
Not
Eagle's
that that's
Talon or whatever?
OP necessarily,
and there are a
but it
number
is
of bugs
annoying.
with things like Lion's Roar, Haymaker, and so on. And the last thing they identified was like, hey, Legion Kick still is useless in this version. So basically, that's what came out of the testing ground feedback.
Okay, well, and that I guess takes us into today, and what changes you guys made to address that feedback. So I guess you can go into the details of like, okay, now we've went through that initial phase of testing grounds. We've gotten the feedback. Next week, players will be playing something. Let's dive into those details.
Totally, yeah, exactly. I mean, coming out of that testing ground, basically it was the amount of time to look at the feedback and figure out how do we adjust each of these things. So I guess let's hit it without
All right,
further
let's take
ado,
a
right?
look. Let's take a look here.
Cool. So sent. Here we go. All right. So top to bottom, I'll kind of give it a little bit so the people
Zone
who haven't seen
attack
the
and
testing
target
grounds,
swap. Makes
can
sense.
see a little bit of like
The
what
charge
is the stuff that was good
finisher
then and
is
we're keeping,
favorable.
and then what is the new stuff. So we'll kind of go. Zone attack, anyway, is now feintable. Obviously, this is what people want. This is what people need. And it doesn't make Centurion sad to actually hit the move and get parried afterwards. So yes, cool. Second attack is feintable, and third attack is feintable.
Is the damage
let's
the
see.
same?
Okay, that was the first.
Is it still like
fainting on the second attack there.
Mongo damage? Doesn't
Fainting on
look
third
like
attack there.
Looks like
And
it's
now
less.
we're going to target swap.
What's that?
Yeah, Clarissa loves her target swaps, doesn't she?
You know, when you got a gank or when you're in a 1vx situation,
The scent would
you'll
be
learn how to
fun for
target
that.
swap. But
Swap, switch, swap back.
But what's really cool about this one is it gives the players more control
Nice,
and it
that's
makes
cool.
the zone attack more viable because
pretty fun.
You can, instead of letting it rip and then watching you be like, oh no, they're gonna block it. Easy parry, I'm dead. Now they can swap or they can feint it.
Yeah,
Right.
and you could choose
Exactly, so
to
it's a
kind of
little
mix it
more,
up by
unpredictable in
hitting the
this
same
case, so
person
Yeah.
twice and then
Yeah.
switching.
Which would be cool. Okay, after that, charged heavy finisher, as we saw in the testing grounds, is feintable, even once it reaches the unblockable portion.
All right.
So we'll see a
that's
video
the
for this one
same.
as well. And we'll see the character lets it rip first, I guess.
I
Followed by
guess.
Fiend.
He's like, I don't know.
Yep, you
what
saw
am
the
I looking
unblockable
at?
there.
What am I
So
looking at?
the VFX and the unblockable icon, the fire and so on, all appear.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So
there's the,
hopefully
the
that's a
guard break,
harder
feint
feint
as well.
window. Might have
So
to
these are
actually
so with
opt
the
to
change.
select
This
that every now and then.
these are 3 options that players can use to have some mix-ups into their combat, right?
Exactly. I mean, on live, because you can't feint that, once you see that, you're like, okay, not much you can do about that. I'll just punish him for trying to hit me.
Mhm.
And here, now it's actually going to be a threatening option. That's going to be
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah,
they've
I think this
gotta
one's a
be
good tool,
doing
especially when you want to
something else to
condition
get
your
rid of it.
opponent. So it's like, when you want to keep doing it, like feint, and then eventually maybe throw out the guard break at the end, or maybe let it rip because they might think you're gonna feint it or whatnot. So it's
Totally.
really
You have choice.
yeah.
Is it still softenable? Looks like it.
All right, let's keep going through this. Jab. Okay, as we saw in the testing grounds, it is now feintable, but we made a number of timing options here, timing changes to this in the branchings and so on. So if you do jab confirmed light and then you attempt to jab, it's going to work. You have options to actually hit that or feint guard break that and so on. Same if you go to heavy and feint guard break and so on. These feints into guard break and such are actually going to work now, which is super cool. Besides that, we've tried to reduce the frustration of being punched so often. We've removed the stun property on this, so you're not going to get flashbang
Fully
Uh,
constantly. Charged jab.
Jab is also target swappable as you're charging it.
Before hit.
For
That's
Clarissa,
quite a while.
wherever she is over here, personally.
Great
And
point.
we added,
That's a great point.
That makes that.
And we
pretty
added
good
an
move.
uninterruptible stance just before the hit, similar to, say, Warden's shoulder bash.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's keep going through a little bit. Light attacks. Okay, so second light attack used to be 600 MS.
Reduced down to
Third
500
light attack
flat.
used to be 700 MS. Can anyone imagine what this attack actually looks like on live? I know I can't. So we've made it 500 here. And now you can see it. Probably for the first time in a year or 2 years. Which would be cool. So hopefully trying to bring this to parity with everybody else. And just give you a few more options after getting a confirmed jab, or for confirmed light on
Those
something.
animations look
Cool.
pretty trash, man.
So let's
I
put it
gotta
all
be
together
real.
there. On the
That might
next
just
one,
be a
we've
personal
removed quick
opinion,
throw
but those
entirely.
light
So again,
animations are ugly.
quick throw threatens the guard break. However, the other options that this character has are light or heavy or whatever, right? So if you know that, you know you don't have to dodge anything after you get hit by something. You can just stare, try to block the light, and if he does a quick throw, you just tech it. So it's not a scary move. Instead, we've replaced it by jab. So all through this chain now, you're going to be terrified by, like, is it going to be jab? Is it going to be fully charged jab? Is it going to be jab, feint, guard break? Is it going to be whatever, right? Light or heavy as well.
So
Okay, cool.
basically,
I think we've got a video to show
but
lights and
minus
jabs all
armor.
put together here. So light into jab, light into
Yeah,
jab.
like the level
light,
1
light,
jab,
light.
and that guarantees.
Fully charged jab. Yeah.
Does the fully charged grab
Getting a
jab
beating over there.
test?
Yep. So as you can
If
see,
it tracks
there's a
dodges,
variety of
that'd
things
be
you can try at this
good.
point, and you'll see. I think Centurion's even trying to mix it up even further.
I assume if they dodge early,
So it should be some
that's gonna
exciting
hit 'em.
stuff.
Hopefully, even if they dodge back.
What else did we change after that? Parry counter. So one of the things identified by players in the testing ground was when you get a wall splat off of parry counter, it's really not very satisfying. You didn't get the charge heavy very often, and you didn't get anything else. So here what we're trying to do is allow jab after the parry counter instead of kick, which means on wall splat you can get the fully charged jab for free. So this should bring you to Ego's Talon, at least through some set.
Interesting. That's a pretty weird one.
So that's pretty
You
cool.
wall splat him, and then
Centurion's
you
still
punch
gonna
him.
get a couple options to do big damage on parry punches. So we're kind of holding identity.
People are gonna love Centurion
At the same
now,
time,
man. People already
moving
did, but he's such a
extremely
bro now.
parry.
Like, look at this, just fuck you.
Kick
Decked
into
in the
fully charged
face.
jab,
Like,
or fully charged heavy into fully charged jab into Eagle's Fury.
yeah.
Into
Centurion is
everything else
gonna
in
be the
Eagles,
like.
and trying to bring it down to a set rate.
Oh yeah.
So good reward, reasonable amount of time. That's the idea there.
Basically, you want to make sure that you're not near a wall. If
Still,
you
I mean,
are-
Centurion's always going to be friends with walls. That's for sure.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, if you want to be extreme, you could try like
I mean, the
throwing
fact
a
is,
jab,
Cent
fake
doesn't
guard
get as
breaking at a
much
ledge or something
on a
like
guard
that.
break as Highlander does.
If you're
or
going for
Lawbringer
broke, I don't
anymore.
know. Try some stuff. All right, let's keep going through this.
Cent doesn't get anywhere near as much
Legion
off
Kick,
that
another
anymore
thing
if it's just a
identified as not
charged
good
bash.
enough on live. So before it was 600 MS, we've switched it to 500 MS. This is more in line with like Conk Warlord, that kind of stuff. So we expect forward Legion Kicks to be threatening your 1v1 opponent.
Okay.
Similarly, you see on the movement side, the Centurions had a lot of attacks that really didn't have a lot of range. He's got a T-Rex arm syndrome kind of style. And at the same time, his forward strafe was really, really quite slow. And this meant a lot of times people could kind of backwalk or backspace him really easily. So we're trying to alleviate that. And I think we can show a super quick video on the Zanhu trying to escape and not succeeding, at least in strafe versus strafe. So I would recommend if you're Centurion in 1v1, keep your stick forward, and then you'll be happy.
Okay. Well, this is good because
That
you know,
seems
he's meant
nice.
to be played as a close distance kind of character. So hopefully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get up
good.
close, bully them as possible for this guy now. So that's pretty cool. And then the last change we've made there, Eagle's Fury, that's a dodge forward heavy, is now 800 MS. It used to be 1,000, and we've slightly increased the range. So again, it's another
slightly
step
more
of, like, hey,
usable
can
now.
we keep you close? Basically, is the intention here.
It's still parryable as dodge forward dodge usually
And that's
is,
roughly
but,
what's going on with Centurion.
but yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. I know that this has been a long
seems
time
pretty
coming for a
good,
lot
man.
of players,
I
and
don't
you know,
know.
obviously with the delay, we haven't had the chance to speak about this beforehand. So now we do get the chance. I'm just wondering, and you know, as maybe people that are mains of the Centurion, how does this affect their playstyle? Does his role change? You know, do they have to get used to a new role within, like, you know, 4v4 situation, 2v1s, whatever it may be? How does his playstyle adapt after these changes?
I think it's going to be really interesting, actually. So in 1v1s, basically we saw, hey, play extremely defensively, go parry fishing, and then punish like heck when you can. I mean, you're still going to be able to parry like everybody else. That's not taken away. The extreme benefits are removed. The cutscene is removed. So the uninteractive element is going to be gone. You're going to see stuff like, hey, if he can jab it, you can dodge, right? You're not
Yeah,
going to be like,
he's. I don't
full
see
heavy
why Cent, unless
into
all of his
full
shit,
punch
his
into,
jabs
Eagle's
drain
Talon.
spam, which they shouldn't.
you're going to have
At
dodge
least not after
opportunities
testing
at any
grounds.
point it is. So that's going to be really cool.
I don't
at the
see a
same
reason
time,
why he would be a better turtle
Before you
than
really
anybody
didn't
else.
have
He seems like a
options
bad
to
turtle,
initiate
actually,
combat
considering the
or
fact
to
that he
sustain
doesn't have
combat once you got
CCs.
it going. Now you can.
Crazy
you can
counters.
walk forward, Legion kick them. They're going to have to dodge at some point. If you do, empty dodge forward into guard break is going to work. Once you hit with Legion kick, you get your light. You're going to start up your whole like, is it jab, is it feint guard break, is it whatever. That's going to be really cool. And the longer you can keep this going, because it's like quite a good set of options and powerful at this point, it's going to allow Centurion to fight and press buttons. And that's going to be the best part. It's going to be
The
high
fact
risk,
that he has a level
it's gonna
1,
be,
level 2
it's gonna be
bash,
good.
just like kind of
At the same time,
everybody
fours.
else, is a little
Centurion's job
annoying. I
really
mean,
was,
it's
like,
not really everybody
try
has
to gank
that,
the
right?
crap out
Like
of someone
Warden's
who's
got
about to
his
get
multi-level bash that'll catch
and
you if you
don't really
dodge.
allow them to
Hito's
survive
got.
through revenge.
It seems most like Hito's mix up, honestly.
Which is niche and quite annoying,
not as good,
honestly.
I don't think.
So that part's going to be gone. At the same time, improving the 1v1 aspect and stuff like the kick and so on will mean you can get the kill.
Sort of feels like an inverted.
And it's going to be really interesting to
Hito
see
mix-up.
how does this character evolve in group fights or not. Have to put it in the hands of the best players and see what happens.
Well, the good news is that they don't have to wait long because it starts June 11th, and that's when the update will be available for our boy Centurion. And that's not even all. We've got another surprise when it comes to our boys, so we'll see that later on. And you guys got a little tease at the intro. So that being said, there are a couple of other changes and updates in terms of fight. Why don't we get right into that? I guess my question to start you off is really, is there a common theme here in the changes that you're going to run through right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, most of the stuff you're going to see in the hero balancing segment here basically
Please
comes
give us
out of
something
more
good.
feedback that we get from you guys. We're doing like
This is what I've been so
a player
excited
survey
for.
every season, the last couple of seasons, where we ask you specifically, hey, what is frustrating, what is fair, what do you like, what you don't like. And a lot of what you'll see in this particular patch is meant to address high frustration elements.
That sounds
Properties on characters,
great.
as well as
Give it to me.
characters specifically.
Give it to me.
So we're going to
Give
see,
it to
hey,
me.
there's going to be uninterruptible stance nerfs, there's going to be stamina nerfs. Those are probably the top two things we'll see.
Sweet. So let's dive right in then.
Cool, let's hit it. Yorm. Uninterruptible stance, you're going to see top heavy opener. Uninterruptible stance now starts at 600.
Damn,
400.
they're moving
sides
back that hyper
will now
armor
be
window.
500. So this means if he's trying to feint, or sorry, if he's trying to parry, and he's right or he's wrong, blah blah blah, there's going to be a little less leniency towards the Jormungandr in those states.
Yeah.
Also, slightly later is a little more in line with the
100
character like Warlord.
MS for Serpent
So
Smite.
as you can see from Warlord,
Holy
post our previous
shit.
testing grounds,
I didn't realize it was
Warlord's
that
become,
early.
fairly meta, let's say. I don't think this will be atrocious to Yorm players, and at the same time feeling much more fair for everybody else. And Serpent Smite, which is dodge forward heavy.
Stamina
is gonna be
damage
much later,
regeneration
again, much more in
pause
line with Warlord
reduced on
timings,
all
than
melees.
was on
Well,
life.
that's nice. The regen
Stamina
pause should
damage
just
and regeneration
fucking go
pause, This is also
away. But
identified as a big element of frustration for characters. We've reduced the stamina damage done by the light opener, light finisher, and the guard break melee, while reducing the regeneration pause of all four of the melees on this character.
well, that was a confusing way
Cool,
to
let's,
say that, but
let's
it sounds good. So,
Finishers, light and melee finishers are now going to be frame disadvantaged.
yay.
Light spam was the other.
So we can fucking hit
complaint
Yorm
you'd see
before he
in
hits
some
us
of the
now.
surveys.
After
Basically,
a
what this
finished
means
chain.
is that if Jormungandr goes light, and you get hit, or block or whatever, if Yorm then tries to start up another chain, and you try to start up your light chain will outrun theirs.
Unless
So it
you're
will
an
no
Islander.
longer be Yorm, 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 Yorm. It's going to be Yorm, Yorm, you. That's the idea. So don't be afraid to press buttons against
But if
Yorm,
you're Highlander, you can probably do a heavy.
anymore.
So for that part, sorry to interrupt. So is
no.
it so that happens only if it's confirmed, or just like no matter what, like if it's blocked, confirmed? well, carries it?
Basically in all situations. Same with
Okay.
melee finishers. Even if that hits, you're going to be the first one to act after that.
Man, it's Stefan is pretty much the only one
And
on
we've made
the
slight timing adjustments
Ubisoft
that
team
allow
makes sense when it
a
talks
little
about
more ease of parry of the light finisher as well. So generally, you're gonna have a couple more options when you're faced with that second attack from Yorm. At the same time, the benefit that we're going to give Yorm here is the heavy to heavy finisher guard break actually now can work. Before you could roll it for free, and that's no longer going to be the case. So it should be cool.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Hitokiri, same deal basically as Yorm here. Uninterruptible stance and the light finishers.
Uncharged heavy opener no longer is uninterruptible.
So
Holy
specifically,
shit.
we're going to remove the uncharged heavy.
They just took Hito's uncharged hyper armor. Oh my
basically.
God.
You still
Sweep is slowed down.
And that's going to be all right. So
light finishers aren't enhanced
sad days
anymore.
for heavy on red fans, but good days for everybody else.
Now time for the opponent to
and then
dodge.
sweep, we're going to slightly make the uninterruptible stance a bit later as well. Again, this will be more in line with warden timings. That seems fair to me. Light finishers, same deal as Yorm. More or less same deal as Yorm, let's say. The difference is they will no longer be enhanced, so that means if you block, it will actually stop.
So she can't. Okay.
The Hitokiri, which would be cool.
This is a big Hito nerf, guys.
Slightly adjusted timings so that it is a little easier to dodge or to parry the.
This is a big Hito nerf. This, so honestly, after this, I don't think Hito is
less, light spam.
That high tier anymore. Probably closer to just mid.
And finally, the fun
That's
one.
crazy.
Who wants to pronounce this one? We've tried it a few times.
That is fucking crazy.
Senbonzakura.
Damn.
Terrible. That was terrible.
No, that was good. What?
No,
that was
no.
Actually,
I'm gonna get roasted in the chat. I know for a fact. But let's go.
No.
Okay.
I think it's.
You know what? I appreciate it, guys.
For me, I would have said Zenbonzakura, but I don't know.
That's a lot better. You see? Well, they outshine me. But please go ahead.
It's way better than us. So yeah, we'll just move on. We'll call it tier 4 of the Hitokiri.
Oh, I know what that is. Holy shit! You can parry the. No way. That's. Well, that's just a shit
Therefore,
feat
it is
now.
parryable. Therefore, it will auto parry instead of, the feel bad scenario of like
when you're getting
parry
ganked
one
by
character,
like
but
4
then
people,
Hitokiri
and then
kills
Hito
me
comes
with
out of nowhere with
the unblockable on the other side.
Yeah.
So
parryable? Dude, this is a huge Hito nerf. Hito just got wrecked. Rip Hito mains. I am sorry, guys.
Stance. Man, I wish there was a better name for
I wasn't a fan
stance.
of Hito, but
put it in chat if you know what that is. Yeah.
Light opener, uninterruptible starts later. Oh my
later,
god, this is so good!
And the heavy opener, the uninterruptible stance will start at 433.
Okay, so a little
basically
bit of
same
changes
deal
there.
as the other characters.
No longer immune to GB during the charge portion. Dude, and Shugo getting it. Everybody's getting it. This makes me afraid, because that means Highlander's going to get it, too.
While charging, which meant that you would bounce off him a little more, so it should be a little bit easier to do Shugoki.
They've called these balance changes. So far, these have all been nerfed,
all right, JJ,
which I'm kind of okay
HP
with,
is going
but
down
damn.
This brings it in line with everybody else
JJ's
in the
too
cast
fast for his health.
40 max.
In
Except
my
for
opinion.
the next guy.
Calcifer.
Lawbringer, who's also coming to 140, thankfully.
Oh, shit!
Finally impale on this
Fuck
guy.
you,
He's also gonna
Lawbringer!
follow the normal binding rules. There are a number of scenarios that he would get the impale that other people would have bounced off. So,
Okay, sure,
whatever.
But the HP, that's a nerf.
Awesome.
Not a lot of Lawbringer nerfs. He's still gonna be pretty top.
Okay, Nuxia. She gets a buff. Everyone else gets nerfed, but she gets a buff. Tier 1 and Tier 4 feats. Small damage increase on her deadly duet.
I think you got it.
Bro.
Duet? Yeah, we'll go with duet.
Bro.
We'll try that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Duet,
And her Tier
bro.
4 feat, basically a variety of buffs. It's actually going to
Duet.
cause a light hit reaction now instead of no hit reaction. It's going to last her 10 seconds. It's going to deal 10 damage per tick instead of a weird variety of damages starting very low and working up to very high. Cooldown is going to be reduced as well, and although the radius will be slightly reduced,
I don't.
we're going to
I
see
don't
a big visual feedback
understand
improvement on this
Nuxia
one.
well enough to know what this is.
It's a super hype feat. I really like it because it tries to control a fight without mass damage all at once.
I
like,
never played
Final
Nuxia.
Boss or
I don't
something
know
like
what this feat is.
So it's going to be exciting to see if people try this out and try to do some stuff with Nuxia. Finally, last one. Black Friar. The Bulwark nerf. Bulwark counter is only going to be allowed to counter attacks.
So no major BP nerfs.
Is no longer going to be allowed to counter feet traps. There are weird ragdoll body things or stuff about people using interactions like entering or exiting ladders.
And
no longer
I suppose
people.
Good to fix.
Now you have to actually flip an attack that's...
I don't know what I would have changed if they were going to give BP some nerfs, kind of along the lines of some of these others. I don't really know.
Well, thank you so much
change.
for stopping by, Stefan, and as well as your very good boy
That's
in the background that
okay.
I see. That
well,
being
I
said,
appreciate
got,
the changes
the
that they did
patch
make.
notes that are going to be released as
of
next week, June 11th, where you guys get more details on all of those changes. And obviously, there's still more to come this season. We haven't even dived into the all of the changes that have to do with the core combat update. Will come later on. So again, a big thank you for stopping by.
Send Hito, especially now that Hito's got her
which we are not done with just
those,
yet. And that's a perfect segue to our next guest and our next segment, which is the new customization for this season. Mr. Andrew will be with us.
There are variations of the Centurion's armor. This time, what we wanted to kind of do is a more traditional setup. Is the armor structures and there's
like
a better type. You don't obviously don't see it from here, and then there's
I don't know.
Also the traditional
he looks like,
sandals.
Kind of like your average white dad. The intro
like
picture made him look
Centurion
a little more hardcore, but that face.
Like, before that it was
just
a
looks like
of
dad
For Honor fantasy on it, but this is a bit going towards the traditional
drop
the
me
armor
off at
sets.
soccer practice.
And I think a lot of people were demanding to have this type of variations.
Yeah, well, these are amazing variations, but we have to talk
arms.
about the rest of the season and the other heroes that are getting.
Of course, as we promised.
Yeah,
we
so
have,
what can you tell us
variations.
about this heroes?
Exactly.
Ooh,
overall,
okay, everybody's getting armor.
you guys
I'm
know
excited.
by now the theme is a bit
Comics going Punisher.
darker than before. I mean the last season. We don't get to see all the details from this video. We don't see the back, so I'll leave that up to you guys to find out.
Kinda.
But there's also always a hint of darkness within every variations. Or the mystery. So if you can see it from the Peacekeeper, you see a Venetian mask on top of it. So there's also, you don't get to find out what she's thinking of it. But then visually, it's a quite interesting culture that I wanted to introduce. Also, those white pelts is something that is quite new for the world.
I know that it's edgy, but
and
I don't like
also very traditional.
Freaking masks.
The mask for Kensei's. Kensei's mask with the nice mustache. And of course Orochi also just started to have the mask on of his own. Very interesting beard on the side. It's a metal the mask.
He doesn't look very happy. They don't look very happy. Yeah, they don't look happy at all.
Well, the Orochi mask is kind of cool. It's interesting.
The darkest one.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That's pretty cool.
So angry.
That's cool. That's actually cool. That's just creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's my
Shikoki,
fucking favorite
version of it.
Dude, that Shigoki mask.
Very nice.
Though.
And so when you come up with these new armor variations, obviously you're trying to encompass, like if we're looking at the warlord, what are you trying to accomplish here? It's again in the spirit of creepiness.
Dude,
I'm assuming
these are like faction
intimidation
or some shit. That looks like some kind of like Eastern Mongol helmet.
There's always a demand from the player, and that's I'm trying to kind of get satisfied.
That Highlander and the other DLC heroes are going to be missed again.
The one of the mask you saw it from the warlord is the one of
yeah, Whitebeard Zerk is kind of nice. Having an older Zerk.
So there is a one variation that you will be able to use it to make sure that he has a full mask.
Raiders
is all hell.
Pretty normal. I think I like the arms on that. Actually, I think I kind of like that one.
You added a Gucci chain? Is that what that is? Is that
a little bit of a
little bling bling?
Yeah, dude. Are we missing the DLC heroes again? Yeah. They got missed on the last armor set.
The new set that we introduced last time for the TND.
TND's
for Shaolin.
Shaolin's cool.
Very expressional mask.
That's
another
weird.
version
it's like
of
a
the monkey
sleepy
king
mask
that we created.
Man. Yeah, dude.
I don't know how to describe that face. A little bit like surprise. Yeah, that's it. Surprised. Yeah. Ooh, that's what I'm imagining.
They show us some makeup.
Very cool patterns and nice engravings on.
That's an interesting JJ.
And a masked version.
That makes some sense.
JJ.
Go with some.
JJ's not looking as happy-go-lucky this time around. I'm sad to see that. Okay, well, that being said, that's not it, right? We've got to talk about, obviously, the weapons that are coming with this season. So what can you tell us about the weapons? And
again?
I know we've got a cool video to look at all of them.
What's the deal? Do the DLC heroes not get new armor anymore? This, again, is
when we talk about the armors that we just saw. These are the lootable items that you get from, end of match drops and stuff like that. So let's dive into the weapons, maybe.
Right, sure. I think there's for season 14, there's a special weapon that we wanted to make for a special player. Clarissa can.
Yeah, so the first weapon that you're going to see is the Warden's weapon, and this one's special because it's for one of our players, Ogi, who honored us with his Make-A-Wish request, and so we chose Warden because he said the Warden is his favorite weapon, and he named it as Ogden's Revenge. So shout out to you, Ogi, and to your Make-A-Wish chapter, and we hope that you're doing well during these times.
Yeah, that's great. That's very cool that they did that, but where the fuck is my Highlander armor?
Pleasure to make a specific weapon for
that Black Prior shield's
Ogi.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so, apart from that, when it comes to the weapons in the actual kind of theme of the season, obviously I'm seeing a lot of green. I can see that as maybe the common theme for these weapons.
Right. Overall, the color of this season is a toxic green. It's applied throughout the whole weapon. You can just guess what that means, and then you'll find out eventually. Yes. These are just the reskinned weapons, and only the Black Prior, I think we just passed it, and the Wu Lins will have new visuals, but other than that, those are just the reskinned version, just to remind you guys.
Yeah. That's an interesting.
And of course, guys,
sword.
We're doing this from home,
Green.
So we don't have the flexibility of necessarily doing this live and taking the time and maybe even looking at your comments. So obviously you guys could take a look and pause the video whenever you want to take a look at maybe your mains weapons. But obviously these are all going to be available starting next week, June 11th for Year 4 Season 2 Tyranny, for those of you who may be joining us late on the live stream, which is not very live because it's pre-recorded. But that being said, Andrew, for this season, we're going to let these play out and take a look at all of these new reskin weapons. But what are you most excited about?
It's something that we weren't even be able to showcase right now, but then we'll slowly unveil the stuff, and as we are moving on, then it's going to be there.
So we're just at the tip of the iceberg, is what you're saying, basically.
You know what? I actually just want to reveal everything.
No, Andrew, you can't do it. Don't do it. It's Year 4 Season 2's Battle Pass. So, what can you say about this?
Well, Season 14 introduced a new type of dark. It's a new order called Horkos. They arrive, and we don't really know what they are trying to bring with them. We'll find out slowly. There are a lot of mysteries that we.
Why the fuck is there a top hat? Why? A top hat?
It's all in here.
This is just a reusing of the effects from the other.
The journey is gonna unfold itself for sure. For sure. So that looks like a yummy juice. Okay, so let's keep going here.
Oh my god.
That being said, we've got the weapon sets. We're gonna take a look at the Horkos Trophy Head Free Roam emote. So that's all part of the Battle Pass. Again, this is new content coming with Year 4 Season 2. The new weapons, you're getting a sneak peek here on our on the Centurion and the Valkyrie, but we'll actually dive in a bit deeper with the next video that we're gonna show you guys for the Battle Pass weapons. So let's launch the video, but what can you tell us about this particular set of weapons that are a part of the Battle Pass for Year 4 Season 2?
Right. The theme of these weapons are the alchemy, the rebirth, and the mysticism. These are the main topic that this first part of a season, and our weapon design will kind of reflect the trend of this dark time. The main material that I use for this one is the red gem, or we can call it like red crystal. Usage will be, you will find out soon. Always assume.
Man, all you're doing is teasing these guys. I can't keep up.
What can I do? Others are the brass and the gold. The suede leather is another one, and lacquer wood for the samurai, and the oxidized metal, which you can see as a little bit of tint of a bluish metal that you get it. Those are the main material that we used. The color wise, it's a bit more saturated, so you will kind of see it's a very vibrant, and it's all the designs and weapon designs are inspired from the medieval. It's kind of bizarre illustration. When you kind of search for alchemy, you see a lot of this type of interesting illustration that they are kind of fantastic and decorative and artificial.
I don't think I love most of these so far.
And
there are a couple that seem
when
okay,
you look at the design, there's a lot of hatching lines. It's kind of a straight hatching lines.
It's kind of a cool flail.
The themes, there are a sun and there's a moon and creatures, animals, and geographical shapes, and it's a lot of a cool thing, and that made our job interesting to do.
And the colors I can, this, we just went through the first set, which was for the knights, but I can see also the colors are like a bit more vibrant and a little bit stand out a bit more than the rest of the seasons, maybe.
They are. They will really pop out during in the battlefield. That's the point that I wanted to bring. It's something that when you kind of carry it, I wanted to make it. It's like, that's it's unique. It's a decorative stuff. It's not threatening, but it's like, what the heck is this?
I tell you right now, I would put every piece of weaponry that you're showing in my kitchen, just like on top of like the splash. I think these are absolutely breathtaking. Incredible work that you guys did.
The twin geographical shapes,
like you said. Cool. I'm not much of a mathematician. I failed math 3 times, but I can recognize them. It's incredible.
It's just when on these weapon sets, we wanted the themes to drive whole weapons. Normally we divided it into
I like the
katanas.
katanas.
Each section has their own identity of the weapon, even though the theme is like, let's say, fire or ice. But this time, I wanted to really stick with the
Japanese swords and
the culture, as I did it for the previous one, the Prince of Persia. This one is another very unique one that will kind of have a good collection in your armor.
This is Kente.
I hope.
These are beautiful.
I like the Japanese ones a lot.
Is pretty much guaranteed.
Kente's is sick.
Beautiful weapons.
Sick. Aramushas are sick.
So now that was the samurai. Now we're moving into, I believe this is going to be Viking. There we go.
Well, that's good. If you don't recognize it right away,
exactly.
I think we kind of succeeded.
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful.
I mean, admittedly, like, that's a cool looking axe, right? But it would look better on a knight. Like, none of the Vikings have colorful enough armor to even wear most of this stuff.
Very talented people.
Very
like inverted Zerk colors are cool, but
when it comes to art, when it comes to art, I think my biggest creative achievement is being able to draw a heart, and that's pretty much it. Like, I can do a heart not bad, like on a first try, but even then I have to erase sometimes. So the talent that's here compared to mine, quite drastic difference.
Sword is it, or is it? It must be. That's confusing.
This one for the Clarissa.
That's a weird shaped tip on the Highlander sword.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna collect them all. Well, I mean, like, you can when you're, because it's all in the battle pass.
For Jorm. Insane.
Yeah, the Jorm hammer
this one's
cool.
my favorite. the shield.
A lot of these weapons are cool, admittedly. I just don't think most of them match the other things that the heroes have. Like,
it's insane.
Well, it was fun. It was really fun to design this.
I feel like I would struggle to make matching heroes for most of the Viking ones, at least.
So this is for the Warlord. Again, the shield, just again, breathtaking.
Super cool.
Insane. The color is, again, like, I don't know, like, for me, it just stands out. For whatever reason, and you mentioned,
granted,
that,
the
you
new
wanted to go for
armors
something that is going to stand out in the
so
battlefield, but this time around, there's just something about these weapons that, you know,
I bet the Wuben stuff looks fucking
so
awesome.
Unique.
Zonhu's sword is already
mix and match
cool.
of the colors and stuff like that, just
super cool.
It looks like nobody else has it, you know.
I would want to be able to stab with it, but
and look at this, a moon. That's insane. Exactly, too.
That's not even a blade.
Each season.
Oh, that must be that's the back end.
Very unique. That was my highest goal for this year, and it's only it's not even halfway there. So
incredible.
Musha, huh? Or Nuxia, I mean. Those are cool. I like those. I like the fish scales.
Insane.
Fish scales are cool.
A little rose gold finish there that I'm seeing.
Maybe.
What is that? An escargot? Is that a snake?
It's a danger.
It's a nope. It's a nope rope there.
A nope rope.
Okay,
yeah.
there's
two
nope
Shaolin,
ropes.
I see.
Okay.
I get it now.
The Shaolin means business.
And we finished with the bizarre frog.
That's incredible.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean,
nice.
I'm game to finish on the bizarre frog. By all means, this is actually very incredible. Year 4 Season 2. Again, this is the collection of items that you see for the Battle Pass of Year 4 Season 2.
Basically, like Elise said in the beginning, the Medal Trials is going to be in lore with the season. So the narrative, if we can go to the next slide, is while the world's attention was focused on the truce of Wyverndale, a sinister threat grew in the shadows. The festivities of the Honor Games began a new chapter with the reenactment of battles against Apollyon and the Blackstones, but none of the warriors foresaw that the event would soon be remembered as one of the darkest moments in the Heathmoor's history. ...
So much grimness. Is that a word? I don't care. That's crazy, guys.
Grim.
Yeah, it is
Darkness.
grim. Yeah, the darkness. But that being said, we have this kind of mixed emotions here. We're starting off Year 4 Season 2, obviously in this context that is still in the Honor Games, but there's something that's going to happen. Shit is going to hit the fan. So we'll see when that happens. But can we dive in maybe more in terms of the game mode? Test your metal. Stefan, can you start us off and bring us back to time with this this classic throwback?
Nice. We're seeing Test Your Metal as a new scent.
Test Your Metal returning in the context of the Honor Games. So you may remember the Honor Games from the previous season of Hope.
Yeah, this is this fighting Jormungandr.
Where basically, people were having fun.
Give them jabs. Keep on hitting them.
Type kind of battles. Not meant to kill each other, but it's swords, it's for honor, it's a bit dangerous to have fun. So, heads are going to get lopped off anyway.
That sounds fun. I really like the
great fighters have taken on the honor and the mystique of campaign story mode bosses, and you are gonna fight them with 3 of your friends, for the enjoyment of the crowd, basically.
And and so this may be the answer that we have for why seemingly might be Apollyon in the key arts. I don't know if that's the reason. Maybe we'll find out later in the season. I don't know, guys. I don't know, and I won't tell you today if I did know. But that being said, Stefan, you spoke a little bit about the game mode overview, but maybe let's dive into the details of what it means to really play Test Your Metal and what players can expect next week.
Totally. So it's a 4v4 elimination game mode. 4 of you are going to be humans, and the other 4 will be the bosses from the campaign mode, the computer-controlled ones. If you don't know if you're a human or a computer, we'll debate that after the show, I guess, to help you out. But other than that, we've got 2 chapters to bring to you. 2 chapters, right? The first chapter, you will fight a random roster either it'll be led by Apollyon and it'll be her knights, or it'll be led by Samurai and his samurai. Samurai and the samurai? Tozen and the samurai?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Or Gudmundr and the Vikings.
Okay.
And it'll be, you know, best of 7 eliminations. Super fun.
And then chapter 2, you just get all the hardcore motherfuckers.
It'll be made up of Apollyon, Tozen, Shadow of Tozen, and Gudmundr. And it's a super awesome chance for you guys to show off your skills against the story mode bosses one more time.
I enjoyed the Test Your Metal last time, so this will be nice.
Rules, pretty basic. It's elimination, best of 7. But every time you win a round, the bosses are going to get hard.
Yeah, I remember this.
They might increase their HP, they might get shield HP for the round, or they might get a damage dealt bonus, or they might get multiple as you get towards the later rounds. So it's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher.
So you're basically saying that they're sore losers. This is what I gather.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, they lost during story mode. They lost in the original Test Your Metal.
They can't take the L's. I've been taking the L's since the first time I played For Honor, so they have to learn. Okay, that's how I learn.
It's practice.
Okay, yeah, it is practice, and even the amount of practice that I've gotten hasn't been enough. So, okay, let's get into the actual context of the Honor Games. I know that there's, as you mentioned, kind of the fact that, you know, we had this in Season 1 of Year 4. We're getting into Season 2, and we're in the same context. Alex, what can you tell us about the environment that we're going to be playing Test Your Metal in?
Well, first of all, the Knights decided to host these games in the Shard. So what that means is that they needed to clean it up quite a bit, remove all the debris, fix some walls, fix some towers, and then dress it up to make it look more festive. One of the challenges that we had actually was, how do we differentiate this stadium versus the Samurai one that we had earlier? So this way we went more of like the Ren Fair type of feeling with flags, banners, and decorational crests and whatnot. Of course, the band is back.
Yeah, of course. You need the band. You need music. It's a live event.
You can check it out. Also, the lighting is all custom for this event, just to really make the colors pop out more and make things feel very festive.
Looks really nice.
That's really and very dark, isn't it?
It's true. It's true. I mean, they've upped their game. They've done a good job as hosts. I'll tell you that much for this event. But with that being said, I mean, I like to describe this a little bit like the Olympics. Is that, you know, we have this this activity that was played in Year 4 Season 1, and now we're coming into like another sport. We can assume that maybe the Honor Games never really ended, and to start off Year 4 Season 2 to bring back Test Your Metal, I think it's a phenomenal twist in terms of, you know, what to expect lore-wise. I see some tents in the background. What the hell's going on over there?
Well, since they're having people from all over, every faction, they
decided to. Where the fuck do you think they all gonna stay?
Have accommodations
for everybody in the castle.
It's out of everything.
Yeah, food, drink, everything, and it's pretty gritty too. With
cliffhanger, God, it's getting hot. Let's go. Okay, that being said, we talk about the event, the in-game realization, the map, the game mode, but Year 4, Season 2 also brings back the rewards that we had from Test Your Metal back in the day.
Yeah, it's been a while since I saw this stuff. Pretty much what everybody's still using. This is like the best set of armors ever.
Right now we're taking a look at the Age of Wolves battle outfit that's coming back. So there's common rewards, there's exclusive rewards per week, so all of that good stuff. I don't know if you guys have any favorites.
It's not the armor sets.
In terms of For Honor fashion, it's one of like the best things that there is out there when it comes to being edgy.
That's right.
Wait till you see the execution mood effects that comes with this one right here. It's really insane and it's super cool. I can't wait to equip it. I think it's my new favorite.
That's gonna be sick. And so that being said, let's dive in maybe into the armor sets as well, because we've got those. Again,
so
the details that have to do with this. We're looking at the Black Prior. This was a Harbinger hero, so they didn't get that set because they didn't exist. That's how that works. That being said, for it to be fully that kind of dark and black material.
So heroes that didn't exist are getting it now. I didn't realize that. That's a big deal.
Again, this is a 3-week event from June 11th, which is next week, Actually, it's today. No, June 4th when we're recording this, actually. My bad. And then it ends July 2nd, so you have the availability of these gears and these weapon sets that we'll take a look at.
So Yorm's got it. Dude, it looks pretty good for Yorm and for BP and...
with that Grim Reaper look.
Holy shit, dude, the Wulin are getting it.
Yeah, for me it's these guys. They didn't have it. Well, I guess the Harbingers didn't have it either the first time.
The Harbingers didn't, but these are big changes.
Crazy. And each one's crazier than the last.
Holy shit.
Obviously, you guys see...
Yeah, these are edgy Wulin.
But also in the background, you guys don't see it necessarily in full perspective, but these are... We're showing you the new ones, but obviously these are available for all of the heroes.
These are the best Wulin
that black material to get the full
I like
effect.
These a lot. These are fucking cool.
These are the new armor sets for the characters that didn't exist at the time, and we also have weapons. Stefan, I know you're part of the fight team, so this is kind of your bread and butter. Is there any character specifically that you have always equipped a certain item for these rewards?
For me specifically, I do actually still have a Conk rocking this. And then also on the emotes, I love hearing the voice line. I've got some of the dark armors. I thought I grinded everything out, but I guess I gotta hit the battlefield again for this stuff.
Yeah, baby.
Wulin need it. Oh my god, those armors for the Wulin.
They're so sick. They're so sick.
The devs really grind for stuff.
Can't wait.
Is that something that they
Clarissa,
do?
Do you have the black
Can I run into one of the devs in matchmaking? Is that possible?
Actually, I do. I mean, I kind of changed it recently because I was rocking it ever since it was released, so now it's more of a pink kind of vibe. But my PK actually still has the...
Yeah, I didn't love any of these weapons, but I'm curious to see what the new ones...
I like spamming the war. I am war because it just sounds like her saying war, 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 war.
See, they know all about that.
But I mean, the good news about all of this, guys, is that, you know, these are available for the 3 weeks, and it's just by playing the game. So it's really awesome. For 3 weeks, you get these throwback items. You know, we're talking about a brand new chapter in For Honor, something that's going to evolve in Year 4 Season 2. We're starting off in a bright point, but there's something that's a little bit weird that's going on. Before we let you go, again, thank you so much for joining us. Do you guys have any last words and maybe hype words for Year 4 Season 2 of Tyranny? Stefan, why don't you start us off?
I mean, for me, the whole group, the whole dev team is super excited. Top to bottom, Tester Metal was a fan favorite. Centurion getting the buff. Yep. A number of good patch.
No, this seems like a really solid season.
And we're just getting started in Season 14 here.
Super excited about this coming season. I didn't think we'd be getting anything like this.
Wow.
So,
wow, that's a major
Stefan's saying it's the best season. That's a big thing to say.
Yeah,
but we've got
like Stefan
multiple new incoming armor sets
we just can't
coming in a couple of days
from
the ones that didn't exist.
And this journey is just not over yet. Again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time today. You know, it's
all these
it's
balance changes. Those are the biggest ones for me.
I think we all said that and teased it all throughout the stream. So let's say bye to Stefan and Alex. Thank you again, guys. At that point, this is the end of the show, guys. Clarissa, did you have fun?
I had a blast. I mean, you know, it's not the same when we're not right next to each other or anything like that. But you know.
Yeah, I think that's about it as far as the stream is concerned. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna be seeing you guys all out there on the battlefield because I'm gonna be grinding for probably all of the new Wulin armor. I'll definitely be doing the various battle passes on the different systems probably. And yeah, man, I mean, in general, I'm super stoked. I wish that the DLC heroes got new armor. Like, I really, really wish that. But other than that, I am about as stoked as I could be. So thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Helps me out an absolute ton. And with that, I will catch you next time. Take care, guys.